What's going on? It's SFT. Let's talk about the Steelers-Ravens game last night. I'm doing a reaction early morning because the game's too getting late. I'm exhausted, man. Some of these football games are like 3 hours, 3 hours and 30 minutes. They're just exhausting. But before getting into this video, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. And like the video. We're going to get into this game, some of these stat lines, and we're going to start off with the Ravens. Let's start off with the Ravens because they deserve to be started off with a dominant performance by them. 21 points before half. 21-0. Offensively, running the life out of the football. I was so impressed with this team offensively, the way they were able to block play after play after play. They never had to throw the football. Like, they forced you to not just stack guys at the line of scrimmage, but they forced you to respect the run. I thought Lamar Jackson did an excellent job of keeping the football a lot of those early runs, right, and picking it up himself, picking up those 4, 6, 7 yards, right, and I think he did an excellent job of that because as the game went on, especially in that second quarter, they were having more and more issues. The linebackers and safeties were having more and more issues on who has the ball, of who they should target, and you start to see later on that one of the edge rushers would go in for Derrick Henry and the linebacker would slip out to take care of Lamar Jackson. But that adjustment was far too late. This offense absolutely dominated them. I want to start at the line of scrimmage because we can talk about Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, but at the line of scrimmage, you had 299 rushing yards, damn near 300 rushing yards. That is dominance at a ridiculous level. 21 minutes of the football. That is dominance at a ridiculous level. I thought their tight ends did an excellent job. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, of blocking for them. They were just excellent, man. They blocked on edge rushers. They were blocking on linebackers and no penalties. No penalties. And you're blocking that much. I want you to understand that. Like, they didn't get a lot of holding penalties. Maybe no holding penalties on offense. And they were consistently running the football. They threw the football 21 times. They ran the freaking football 50 times. That means they ran the football 29 more times than they threw the football. Dominance, absolute dominance. This offensive line looked absolutely excellent this game, and I thought that the second quarter was a perfect depiction, and even the third quarter was a perfect depiction of the dominance of this offensive line. When you start to see Cam Hayward hit the floor, hit the knee, when you start to see Cam Hayward go out for a lot of breaks, TJ Watt on the sideline for breaks, I start to see these guys off the field a lot, the camera pinning to them, like, why aren't you guys on the field? But they're just so worn out. They're so tired. They're blocking and blocking and blocking, and they're getting double blocked. They're getting killed on the interior. And I was so impressed. I thought the wide receivers did an excellent job of blocking too. Lamar Jackson, let's get to him. He looks sensational this game. Great plays. A third touchdown. Lamar Jackson experience, man. The guy's sensational, And this is what we expected from him. Not expected, but this is not what we expected from him. But at the same time, if he could show us something like this, next game, the game after that, easy Super Bowl. We're talking about an easy Super Bowl for them, but we're going to need to see that out of him. Outside of that, I thought the throw team were excellent, man. Great timing. He's showing the touch. Like, he's a different level of passer. Like, a lot of quarterbacks, yes, he may not look technically like he's the best thrower of the football, but man, his touch is ridiculous. His accuracy at times is ridiculous. I can only think about maybe one pass that was short to Isaiah Likely on the left-hand side in the third quarter, I think, that they couldn't capitalize off of him. They couldn't keep the drive going. Outside of that, they were fine, man. He played excellent this game. He had some really excellent throws. I thought Derrick Henry was sensational, man. The guy's big as hell. Like, every single time I look at Derrick Henry hitting the hole, it looks like an edge rusher is hitting the hole. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't make sense, man. The guy had 26 carries, 186 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, 7.2 average. So every 2 runs, you're getting a touchdown and more. Absolutely dominant, man. What can I say about him? What can I say about him? Great blocking, but not just that, great finishing. I loved how aggressive he was. I loved how he was stiff-arming the life out of Micah Parsons. I loved his aggressiveness to that second level, setting message, play after play after play. He was excellent, man, excellent. I love his vision. Like, his vision for some of these runs, he's maximizing the gaps that he has. He's patient. He's showing great timing. He's showing great decision-making, man. The guy's, I don't even know what to say. I'm watching this game, man. I'm like, this guy is playing at a high level. This offensive line is playing at a high level. This offense is absolutely bullying the Steelers. And we're talking about a Steelers defense that has had a history of playing great against them. They absolutely blew them out. They dominated them outright. Even last game, I would say they dominated them, offensively. But this game is thorough bullying, and that's what leaves an even bigger question mark for the Steelers team. We're going to get to the defense now. First half, excellent. You made a bad Steelers defense look bad. A big issue I had with the Ravens early on in the season was They made bad offenses look good, elite offenses look elite at a ridiculous level. They had some of the worst secondary play in the league. But ever since I think week 11, they've been number one all defensive ranking, coming into the playoffs really hot, and they showed that level of dominance in this first half. The pressure they're able to generate. The Steelers had a total 29 rushing yards. You know how crazy that is? The Steelers threw the football 11 times. We're talking about a level of dominance that is unprecedented. Not being able to run the football with Najee Harris for a large portion of this game. Offensive line's absolutely struggling. Like when you look at a stat line like 6 of 17, you can't even sit here and blame Najee Harris. You have to just sit there and look at the offensive line and say, you guys are getting your butts handed to you. I thought Russell Wilson didn't have his best game, especially in the first half. Looked inept for like he usually does. Like against the Bengals, he looked inept. Like against the Chiefs, he looked inept. Like against the Ravens and the Eagles, man, the guy has been going downward in terms of form, man. I don't know why they stuck with him. I think they need a little bit of a juice. Go to Justin Fields. I would have been a big fan of that, but it's really disappointing to see that they stuck with him. Like, this is what you get, man. Like, at least you could have added something to that running game. This running game today, man, so depressing. That running game last night, so depressing. There's nothing great you can take about it. But if you're the Ravens defense, what an excellent performance. 2 big plays from your secondary, not the best. Nate Wiggins getting burnt by I believe it was George Pickens and another touchdown previously, right before that. You're not the happiest with these explosive plays, but it is what it is. Like, to me, it is what it is. They're eventually going to score. I didn't like the manner that they scored. I thought they didn't have to work for it enough, but they scored 99 yards. They go down 98 yards. They go down. They get a touchdown, and the Steelers show something of life in the third quarter. I was confident in that fourth quarter the game would be done. They went right back to what they were, picking up penalties. But outside of that, I thought the Ravens were excellent. The linebacking core, the way they were tackling, the way they were running to the football was excellent. Every single time Russell Wilson looks for a check down pass, they're sprinting to the football, making that tackle, hitting hard. I love the mentality. I love the aggressiveness. I love so much things that this defense has shown. It was so nice to see this defense come out and put up a really good performance. Didn't look happy in that third quarter, but outside of that, 3 quarters out of 4, excellent. You're going to want to complete a game next week because you're going to be going a lot better competition, a far better offense. But we're talking right now about the Baltimore Ravens defense peaking at the right time. Now we're going to get to the Steelers, man. Defensively, underwhelming, disappointing. I don't know what to say about this defense. This is a performance I did not expect. Really disappointed in them. Really disappointed in the way they composed themselves, the way they were tackling. I thought they were tackling extremely poor. They were scared at certain points of the game, and I thought their defensive line was just so soft, man. Such a soft football team. Really disappointing. Really, really disappointing, man. This defensive line. I thought the linebacking core wasn't great either, but they had so much to deal with. Because this defensive line was struggling, man. They were struggling to get pressure. They're struggling to get pressure on the quarterback when he was throwing the football. He only threw the football, 19 times down there, or 21? Outside of that, the linebacking core had to deal with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, dealing with that dual threat option and seeing who's going to keep the ball, where the run is going. They were overwhelmed. Absolutely overwhelmed. I thought the secondary wasn't bad, but they didn't have to worry about much. Tackling-wise, they were extremely poor. I thought they were soft. I thought they were getting bullied at times. Isaiah Likely stiff-arming the guy to the ground was a perfect demonstration of the level of physicality the Ravens brought to the Steelers, and they just could not hang with it. Really disappointed to see from the Steelers defense. What can I say next year? Blow it up. Blow it up, man. Like, there's no point in keeping it together. Like, the worst defensive performance I'd say all year outside of maybe the Indianapolis Colts on about week 4 or week 5. That was a terrible performance. But outside of that, this is one of the most embarrassing performances they've put up in some time. And they've had a lot of bad performances the last year and such. But a lot to be desired from this team. They got to get it together. They got to figure it out. And we're going to see how they figure it out. But you're going to give up 300 yards of rushing. Are you serious? Man, this is a disappointment. We're going to get to Russell Wilson and this offense. I thought this offensive line, as I said earlier, was absolutely terrible. Really disappointing. I thought George Pickens, he showed highlights, 5 catches, 87 yards. He had the unfortunate push off, which was deserving. He did push with 2 hands. But outside of that, this offense looked dead. Did they turn the ball over? No. Did they throw an interception? No. Did they fumble the football? No. But they left a lot to be desired on that field offensively. And outside of that third quarter, really underwhelming. That's where a large portion of the yards came from. Really underwhelming. If I'm Steelers offense, also blow it up. You need to rebuild. Fire your head coach. Mike Tomlin has to go, man. It's over. Like, you turned a storied franchise, right, that you started off really hot with into just an average participator in the playoffs. That's not acceptable. That's not what the Steelers are. That's not what they represent. They need more. And there's nothing wrong with you not being the man or you not being able to accomplish that. You need to cut your losses and move on. You can go coach another team. I'm a big believer in this team needing a refresh, a restart, and to go through a Patriots-like time right now. They need to really stink. They need to stink. They need to go to the game and be like, yo, we stink, and we need to go pick up an elite quarterback prospect in maybe the next coming drafts. But outside of that, I'm looking at this team. They have a lot to worry about, man. A lot of contracts coming up and contracts still here. Man, it's a goddamn shame seeing what this team has become. But they got to make some big decisions this offseason. Hopefully they don't run back. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe. Take care. Peace.